Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out our blog post. So in this video we're going to go over some of the things we talk about in this warm-up blog. So a couple of principles we had in this warm-up. One was to relax, one was to have fun, one was to start with small range of motions and progress outwards. One was to use the breath to help you get into deeper ranges of motion. And I think the last one was to have fun. So just follow me along with this warm-up. The biggest thing I would say where this differs from a lot of warm-ups you see is that we're going to be doing some postural restoration exercises, which I think are amazing and work super duper well. And that just tends to make everything else a lot better. So the first one we're going to do is the all four reach tilt exercise. So for this one, and I'm not going to go through the full breath cycle or the full things for all the different exercises, but you can check out some. We're going to put links so that you guys can check out some of the specific exercises so you get just a bit more in depth. Make sure you're doing them right. So for this one, it's pretty simple though. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm going to reach and send my upper back to the sky. And I'm going to do a slight pelvic tilt here. Now I'm going to use breath cycle to get into deeper range and to make the exercise do its work. So, full exhale until the air goes out. Pause a couple seconds. Inhale. So I'll do that exercise for maybe a set of 10 breaths when I'm first starting the workout. Okay, make sure to check it out though, so you get the full details on how to do it. For the whole warm-up, the breath cycle we talked about that you can use to increase range of motion is a full exhalation, with just a gentle full exhalation where all the air is coming out. Once all the air is out, you pause for a couple seconds, at least 3, and then slowly take an inhale. The pause helps the diaphragm gain strength so that your next inhale pressurizes the core area better and gets air into the right places. So that one, you want to feel air going into your upper back, and you're going to feel some pressure in the lower back. So the next one is another repositioning exercise like that one, but it's going after the hamstring muscles. Usually that one's good to do first because it releases tension in the lower back, making it easier to get those hamstrings. So here, I'm relaxed. I'm going to pull my heels down into this bench. Okay, so I feel these guys come on, and then I'm going to reach my knees gently to the ceiling, keeping my lower back on. Reaching the knees helps that pelvis scoop up a little bit. And again, I should have a slight pelvic tilt. My abs are relaxed. Feel my hamstrings. And now I'm just going to breathe. So I'm going to go through that cycle again. All the air is coming out. Once all the air is out, my ribs have gone down a little bit. I'm pausing. And I'll inhale again slowly. If I'm doing it right, I should feel some air coming back all the way up through from my down here up to my upper back. The air is actually only going into the upper back, but there's pressure from the diaphragm working down here. Okay, so now I've done those two. So that covers my balancing exercises. Now what I'm going to go through is a few joint mobility exercises. So the first one we're going to do is called the back and forth, and it's just to open up the hips a little bit and turn on the ab shoulder muscles. So I'm here, I'm going to apply those same cues, slight pelvic tilt, reaching up, and now I'm just going to sit back into a bottom position of a squat. Now if this feels tight right away, I can go to where it feels tight and use my breath cycle to open it up. So exhale, pause, reaching, and I'm inhaling. And if I'm feeling pressure there, and breathing and relaxing into it, usually just open up and then start to feel easier coming back here. and then I just work through it that way. So I'm going back and forth. I'm just working through that. So now, what you can do after going forward and back a couple times is you can mix it up. So I can do circles. Again, staying within my range that's comfortable, starting with smaller, working to bigger. Other side. Come out here, just around here a little bit. So again, just gentle movements and just getting the synovial fluid flowing in the joints and starting to loosen things up a little bit. So after I've done that one, the next one I'm going to do is just a hip circle. So our knee circle, hip circle, fire hydrant, whatever you want to call it. And same thing, start with small range of motion, progress to bigger range of motion, and try not to move the rest of my body too much. So it's mostly happening in the hip. And I'll go each way with this one. Same thing other side. Nice and relaxed. Alright. So the next one will be the sprinkler exercise. Because it looks like that super awesome dance move. And for this one, I'll sit back more on my heels because I'll put the motion more in the T-spine. I'm cutting down and under, and then I'm opening up and looking back. I'm following the elbow with my eyes, and I'm staying within the range that's comfortable. So I'll do a few of these on each side. Usually I'll do more, but I'm just gonna go do a couple reps for this video. So the last part for the joint mobility section is putting it all together, and this part is kind of fun. You can just go through every joint in your body and just loosen it up a little bit. You can stand up, you can go on the ground. It's kind of your, feel free to add whatever you want to this section. It's kind of like the old guy you see at the park doing the weird stretches. Or a throwback to 1980s aerobic videos. Oh, get them hips. So yeah, that part you can mess around how you want. It's good for not only joint circulation, body temperature, it's also a little bit fun, but it also gets you doing something that maybe you're not used to doing. Going through each joint in your body and getting into the habit of doing that helps you maintain and further that range of motion. Again, it's good to explore the range of motion. It feels good and it's healthy. So the next section after this is stability section. So for here, we're just gonna do a really basic exercise. It's a push-up plank, and we're just gonna apply those cues that we learned. So reaching, so the upper back goes away slightly, and a slight pelvic tilt. And then from here, I'm just gonna exhale, full exhale, once all the air is out, inhale. Very exciting, I know. So now we're done the plank, time to do some plyometric circulation warm-up stuff. So I'm gonna start off with just hops like this. Okay, really simple, and then I could do some jumping jacks. And if you have a bit of space, you can do some high knee drills or some back pedal drills, any type of agility drills. 1 to 3 minutes, continuous work. And that just gets the blood flowing and it gets your body ready to move quickly. Now the last section is the specific section. So here, we got some nice dumbbells and we're gonna go through 3 of the exercises that I showed you guys. And that was the hinge row, the goblet squat, and set. We actually missed a section, and that was the movement section. So we did the push-up plank. That last one after the push-up plank is that I forgot to show you guys was the chameleon crawl. So it's kind of like a bear crawl, but have you ever seen a chameleon walk? They're very slow and controlled, very specific with their movement. So with the chameleon crawl, it's like a bear crawl, but it's very controlled, nice and slow. And we're doing moving opposition, so right and left, place. Left and right, place. I'm trying to make it as smooth as you can, which will make it quite a bit harder. And it's painful to watch, but as you get better at it, it will get easier. So that was the chameleon crawl, and then I believe after the chameleon crawl, you do the hops and the plyometric stuff, and then the last part is the specific to lifting section. So the hinge row, I'm working this movement and I'm working my hinge. So I'm getting my hinge ready. So I'm gonna start by doing a hinge, where I'm reaching my hips back, I have a flat back, and then the thumbs go to armpits. Then I come back up. I'll do 10 to 15 reps of this. Oops. Cool, so that's the hinge row. Last one is the goblet squat. So I'll have my weight here. I'll just sink down, elbows go in between the knees. I'm tall. Cool. Again, 10 to 15 reps with a decent weight, and that'll do it. So there you go. I hope you have a great time with this warm-up, and let us know your results on the blog.